Welcome to my channel. This is JC Rock and Metal Reviews. My name is John, and today I have a retro album review. The album's not really that old. It's about 6 years old. But I want to be doing Iron Maiden's The Book of Souls. So before I begin, if you're new to this channel and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I do rock and metal reviews, rankings, and more. So here's the album. I'll be showing it in detail in a little bit, but it's their 16th album. Released on September 4th, 2015, so interesting date because the new album will be coming out September 3rd of this year, so it's almost like an even 6-year gap between the two albums, which is, I think, their longest gap. It is produced by Kevin Shirley, and it's a double album, 92 minutes long. There's 2 discs in here, and it was also released on the Parlophone label, which is the first time on that particular label. I think their previous albums, like most of their albums for the past 30 years, were on EMI, so this was a new label for them. Now this, it's not a concept album, but it does have a recurring theme of like souls and mortality. The artwork, which I will be showing you in a minute, is based on like Mayan culture. It was a very successful album. It topped the charts in 24 countries, so that's, you know that Iron Maiden is just a worldwide, it's a band that just like everybody loves around the world. And another interesting tidbit of this is that it uses the original logo with like the extended R, M, and N, if you can like look at that right now, and this is the first time they did that since the X Factor. Thought that was pretty cool. So it does have the classic lineup, Bruce Dickinson on vocals, Yannick Gers, Dave Murray, and Adrian Smith. Those are the 3 guitarists. So I mean, the 3 guitars really make a great sound. The legendary Steve Harris on bass and Nika McBrain on drums. So if you want, I'll do a cutaway right now. I'll let you look at the album. Okay, here is The Book of Souls, the album, which I bought. I bought this when it came out 6 years ago. And I bought it here in a record store in Mexico City, so here's cool. So here's the opening. This is just the case, and this slips out. And it's really cool. It's a book. It actually looks like that old, I guess it's called papyrus paper or whatever they wrote the hieroglyphics on. And it opens up like a book. Really cool. This is artwork. I like this a lot. Kind of ripping out the heart. Almost has that like Indiana Jones. Was it Temple of Doom? That was the song. That was the album. That was the movie. Okay, lyrics. So lots of Mayan themed artwork, under the lyrics. And it's a really cool book. I'll flip through these pages quickly. It's a pretty cool artwork here. That's cool. Some more Eddie. That's one I like a lot. I mean, there's a lot of nice artwork in this book. Okay, so more lyrics. Let me flip through this a little quicker. Okay, there's the band. And these are the 2 CDs. I don't know why, I never know which one is which, so I usually just grab one and pop it in. You gotta look closely to see which one is 1 and which one is 2. But anyway, and it kind of looks like the, it's supposed to be the Mayan calendar. It actually kind of looks more like an Aztec calendar, but I won't get into that. Anyway, there it is. There's the 2 CD package. Okay, I'm going to talk about the songs now. I'll try to keep this fairly short. This is like a 90-minute album, but I won't extend this too long. So the first track is If Eternity Should Fail. This one was written by Bruce Dickinson. It's a slow building song. Really great Maiden style riff, and has a really memorable chorus. This probably would have been a better lead single, but it is kind of long. It's an 8.5-minute song, but this is probably one of my favorites. Actually, it was my favorite when I first got the album. I have a different favorite now, which I will say later. Next is Speed of Light. This was the lead single. This was written by Adrian Smith and Bruce Dickinson. This one does have kind of a different sound. It's, I don't know if you remember the Batman theme. I'm talking about the Batman theme from the 60s. It kind of sounds a little bit like that. Remember that show with Adam West and Again, it's a kind of a simple song. It's a little more repetitive, but the other songs are a lot longer, a lot more complex. But I guess they kind of wanted something simple as a lead single. Next song is The Great Unknown. This is a track written by Adrian Smith and Steve Harris. This one's a slow builder. It has a pretty cool bass intro, as do many other Maiden songs. Has some pretty cool heavy guitar riffs. Not really fast paced, but it is a very memorable song. Next is The Red and the Black. This was written by Steve Harris. And this is a long song, 13 minutes and 33 seconds. It's actually 15 seconds shorter than The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. This is something not many people talk about. This is one of my favorites, not my favorite, but I really like the intro. It has like an acoustic bass. Starts out with a really heavy Maiden riff. Lots of nice galloping riffs throughout the verses. Great metallic leads. This is like one of those songs that has like that whoa, that whoa, that's present in a lot of Maiden songs. I think maybe one song per album has that in one of the songs. I have to check. But it's a long song, but it's a long rocker. It doesn't really have any slow breakdowns or anything. It's just a really long song. Some minor tempo changes other than that, but it's a hard rocker. This is a really great one. Next is The River Runs Deep. This was written by Adrian Smith and Steve Harris. This one's a little short. It's under 6 minutes. And it has a really great opening riff, a little more of a faster paced song. And this one sounds a little more reminiscent of their songs from the 1980s. So this is has that nice throwback sound. Next is The Book of Souls, the title track, written by Jan Gers and Steve Harris. This is another long one, 10.5 minutes. Great acoustic guitar riff in the intro. There's layered guitars, really great intro riff. The song is more of an epic feel. There's lots of guitars, some keyboards that creates a nice texture to the song. The song has some faster parts, and this is another one that's reminiscent of that classic Iron Maiden. Next is Death or Glory. This was written by Adrian Smith and Bruce Dickinson. This is the first song on the second CD, very fast paced, has a classic Iron Maiden feel. The second shortest song at 5 minutes and 13 seconds, or might be the third shortest, but lots of heavy riffs, great melodic leads, so this is a good one. Next is Shadows of the Valley, written by Jan Gers and Steve Harris. This is the song that has that intro. It sounds like Wasted Years at first, but the intro is brief, and after the first minute, the song does take a life of its own. It's another song, very fast-paced, has a really great classic Iron Maiden sound. The song does have some keyboards present, but this is another fast-paced song, has that classic sound. Next is another really standout track called Tears of a Clown, written by Adrian Smith and Steve Harris. Now this is the shortest song. It's right under 5 minutes. And this one's about Robin Williams. So Robin Williams was a comedian throughout the 70s and 80s. And he committed suicide right before this. I think it was in 2015. And the song addresses that issue about how some people can look happy on the outside, but really on the inside they're suffering. And Bruce Dickinson called this his favorite song, even though he didn't write it. And it's more of a hard rock song. It kind of has a different sound to it, but it's a really great song. I really like the lyrics to this one. Next is The Man of Sorrows, written by Murray and Harris, and it's a slow building song. It has a melodic lead guitar solo in the intro, and it's slow, it's heavy. Bruce's vocals are a little more melodic on this one, and has some keyboards in it, creates a nice atmosphere. And the song does pick up a little later. It kind of picks up some pace as it progresses, but it's more of a melodic metal song. And the final song, Empire of the Clouds, written by Bruce Dickinson. This is their longest song, and this is my favorite. This is the one that grew on me over time. 18 minutes, it doesn't feel like a long song. I just really enjoy it when it comes on. Now, what's interesting about this, it was released as a single for Record Store Day back in April of 2016. I actually didn't notice. I just learned this in my research. Bruce Dickinson plays the piano. It's a very slow song at first. They're talking about a British airship called R101, and it took off on its maiden voyage, and then it crashed. It killed 48 of the 54 passengers. So Bruce is basically taking the whole time of this song to tell the story. Again, the first part is like mostly just Bruce and the piano. There are some tempo changes. About halfway through it does get faster and heavier. And I really love that part, like it has like one of those riffs that's really great riff. Towards the end of the song does a slow down again, and just it's a long song, but I really like it a lot. And that's the one I always like go back to. Usually, like when I play this, I usually like pop in like the second CD first because I really like this song, and plus I like Tears of a Clown a lot. So that's it. This is a really great album. I will be doing an Iron Maiden ranking after the new one comes out. I think if you asked me years ago, I'd probably rank it somewhere closer to like maybe 9 or 10. But I'm thinking it might be in the top 5 or 6. But let's see how the new album is. So anyway, comment below. What do you think of the Book of Souls? Do you like it? Is it okay for you? Do you like the other ones better? So let's talk about that. So thanks for watching. Comment below. Tomorrow I'll probably get out my Slipknot ranking. So stick around for that. And check out some other videos. I'll put some other Iron Maiden related videos over here and here if you want to check them out. Other than that, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.